big shout out to Mai this morning, also getting 5 out of 5. Now then, this is an important, exciting part of our Thursday morning. It's confessions, and we welcome Father Neil and Reverend Sophie. Good morning to you both.
Morning.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
We find ourselves here again. Also, is this the first time as a full crew for a couple of weeks?
It is.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, we've all been doing different various things going on, haven't we?
No, we haven't. No, some of us have been doing the same rigmarole every single day.
Okay.
It's
just me
you
then.
that has been visiting the Continentals.
Oh, I'm sorry. Because you haven't done any holiday this year at all, have you?
Well, I did go on one and caught COVID and then just lay on.
Whose fault is that?
Lay
That's not my fault you went on holiday and caught COVID.
That's a rubbish souvenir.
That is a rubbish souvenir.
Yeah.
Stay home, stay safe.
Although I have got, as we know, I think we talked about it last week, I've got 10 days now to the countdown before I get to go to London and see ABBA Voyage.
Oh, is that all it is?
Lovely.
That's going to be exciting.
Can I brag some more?
You can do your humble brag. Go on. You saw ABBA whilst you're on the continent.
No. Clerical friend of mine bought him and his wife 2 tickets to see Oasis.
They got tickets.
They got tickets to Oasis, but his wife doesn't want to go, so he asked me if I would go.
I got no problem with that because
I'm like, yes, I'm going to see Oasis in July.
Wow.
I'd rather eat a plate of Marmite on toast.
Oh my word, I love
than go
Oasis.
and see Oasis.
I'll get you a tin of soup, don't worry. Tomato, special order.
And then somewhere along the lines, I've promised my daughter I'll take her to go and see Coldplay as well. So
Wow. Well, they've been teasing this morning
have they?
Dates for 2025. So watch this space.
Watch the space.
I saw a clip yesterday of when they start Yellow, because they've got the bands, the colourful bands, and when Yellow starts,
everybody starts.
Yeah.
I mean, it turns yellow. Like, it's a bit of an anticlimax when you're telling it as a story. You need to visualise it.
Yeah. I've completed my bingo card.
Have you heard their new song?
There's nobody left alive.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I haven't completed my bingo card because a couple of people have died. But yeah, I would have loved to have seen the Travelling Wilburys.
You need to stop listening to people nobody's ever heard of.
You are so young. I forget just how young you really are.
Oh, yeah, because a whole 9 years between you and me, isn't there?
Yeah, I know.
A generation. That's what that is.
Yeah. You're an early 40 pretending to be an early 30. That's why you're the Children, Youth and Families Officer. So, whereas I'm the mature LMA Dean, who was probably born 10 years too late.
I'm sorry, mature?
Very good point. We've got a confession in, which is so similarly linked to last week, which was a caffeinated story.
Yes.
And there was a bit of coffee snobbery, wasn't it? Last week was the culmination of it in the end. Gina, you just like it black and hot.
Yeah, that's it.
And what about her?
And what about the coffee?
And so we're gonna stick with the coffee this morning. Father Neil, you have been out and about, and someone again has confided in you.
I've decided that the best way to do it is to troll. So I used last week's story about the coffee snob and dangled it in various meetings and this sort of stuff. And I'm not going to say where this came from, although I did advertise it on What's On last week. I'm
trying to remember now where he was.
Was it a tasty?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was sharing this story, and this is what has resulted. I've written this up, but this was a verbal confession, but the person concerned has sort of like approved it.
Okay.
Yeah. Give them the go
Are you
ahead.
ready?
Okay.
Dear G&T.
Oh, whoa.
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
yes.
we haven't done our dance.
Right.
All the music.
Are we ready?
Okay, yeah.
No, we're in the zone.
You're in the zone.
These are my confessions. These are my confessions. These are my confessions.
Father Neil, over to you.
Dear G&T Breakfast Show and Alive and Kicking, 11 months ago, my husband, who works in IT, got a promotion and was allowed to work from home. I am a stay-at-home parent to our 2 children and was in an ideal position, therefore, to observe him at work. Initially, I thought it was the stress of the new position that was giving him sleepless nights. However, I soon realized that it was his massive caffeine consumption. Tea or coffee, it doesn't matter to him. He constantly has his huge Sports Direct mug on the go.
That's big.
He claims that he needs his caffeine to get all of his work done. What he doesn't know is that 10 months ago, I switched both our tea and coffee for decaffeinated varieties. Each month, I buy both a jar of calf and decaf coffee and a box of calf and decaf tea and swap the contents in the supermarket car park and give the swapped version to my parents, who are in on it all, who've just put it in their caddies where it remains undetected. When it first took place, he had a 3-day set of shivers and headache, which I explained is probably the flu.
Oh my word.
Since the change, he has slept better, is less stressed, and seems happy. I wouldn't normally be worried, but recently my husband has started to meet his supervisor once a week in a coffee shop instead of online. By the time they've spent 3 hours together and he's been drinking caffeinated tea and coffee, he is bouncing off the walls and is absolutely hyper. I'm worried that he might figure it out. Should I confess or carry on in the hope that he won't notice? Yours in anticipation, a worried wife.
Worried wife.
I love it. I'm going to throw straight to Gina, actually, who is, you have the full caffeine as well, don't you?
Yeah, the full caffeine. But I was thinking, he's been fine on this stuff, this decaffeinated stuff. He hasn't he hasn't sort of questioned it or anything else. I'd be phoning through to the coffee shop and letting them know of what's happened and make sure that when he gives his name to the cup, to make sure it's a decaffeinated variety.
Love that. Get everybody involved in on it.
One big giant caffeine conspiracy.
Yeah.
Oh my word.
Because there's some people that I know very close to this building here. Caffeine doesn't sit well with them.
No.
So is there like a health benefit from going off it? And is he still completing his work?
Yeah.
Well, the implication is actually he's completing his work and he's less stressed.
Yeah.
He's not awake at night. I mean, I know I can't have caffeine after about 5:30, 6 o'clock because it just ruins my evening cycle and I'm awake until the early hours.
Okay.
So
because I know that I switched from, because I don't do coffee at all, but I do tea, and I about 10 years ago, maybe longer, at home I have decaf tea, but if I'm out and about, I'll have whatever. But because I don't drink coffee, I don't have that same psychosomatic thing of it's coffee bouncing.
Are you saying that I'm a psycho?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll take that.
Gina, do you know what the safe caffeine limit is?
No, I don't want to know. Thank you.
It's 4 not mugs, cups of tea a day. As in cup and saucer.
Yeah.
And it's 3 cups of coffee a day. And if he is drinking
a Sports Direct,
I love the fact that she said to me, he's not drinking a normal mug, it's one of these massive big Sports Direct. That's like a pint, isn't it? Those big.
It can
I
be,
think it's more than a pint.
In fact, but is he just putting 1 teaspoon in there? So is that just not the equivalent?
No, you'd have to big a big heaving teaspoon in that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you'd have to.
Yeah.
So,
And if it's real coffee instead of freeze-dried, is it real coffee or freeze-dried coffee?
Oh, I think it's out of a jar.
Out of a jar.
No, I don't. This is the thing. I think if he was sort of like sipping a quad shot espresso from a 2,500 bar coffee machine that he's made in his own kitchen and this sort of stuff, I'd have some sympathy with him because this is lovely coffee and I like drinking lovely coffee through the day. But it's out of a jar.
It's just a lot of instant.
Yes.
Oh, are you? Excuse me. Are you showing coffee snobbery there?
You might think that. I couldn't possibly comment.
Reverend Sophie, your cursory views before we go into kind of our individual thoughts.
I'm a little well, there are some things going on there, aren't there, really? So the first thing is is an out and out lie. It is an out and out
dishonesty.
The complete dishonesty all the way through. There was something you said during the confession. I thought, oh, that's naughty. And I can't remember what it was.
Was it there? Well, at which point the swapping out in the first place, the parents being in on it, what else was there?
There was something else that I thought, well, that's really naughty. You must that's bad. But yeah, I mean, it's just
saying that he had the flu when he was actually
that
having
was it. It was actually with.
Yeah.
I was like, that is so bad.
He had the shakes and
That's
for
awful.
3 days. Just goes to show how addicted to caffeine he was, though.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, because I'm not particularly addicted to caffeine. I can give or take the coffee. I've got coffee with me this morning.
Yeah, but I've spent the day with you, and equally you've been drinking mint tea. And
I'll drink. Yeah, I was going to say I do.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not addicted to it per se.
Yeah.
But I do know that if I were to stop it completely, I would have the shakes and the shivers and the withdrawal symptoms. I know that, and I don't drink a lot of it. So
yeah, she did have the opportunity to wean him off it, but it sounds like she cold turkeyed him.
Yeah. So he was cold turkeyed, and now it's come to bite him on the bum, because now he's going out to caffeinated establishments.
Yeah.
And now he's having the best of both.
And he's thinking, actually, of course, that when he goes out, the corollary, I haven't actually thought about this. He's thinking, I can have sort of like 3 or 4
I can handle
coffees.
my caffeine.
I can handle my caffeine. I drink caffeine all day. So he's
Just
necking
overdoing it.
3 or 4 caffeine strong, because it's bad enough if you just have instant at home and then you go to a coffee shop where they do all the brew and everything. It's stronger anyway.
Yeah.
So he's really.
I was at a meeting yesterday.
No, really?
I was. Surprise, isn't it? Really.
We vicars never go to
Us
meetings.
Vicars and meetings.
Yeah.
And we had a lot of coffee yesterday afternoon, and I noticed that I was getting the shakes. By the time the end of the afternoon got there, I was getting the shakes. I was like, oh, this is not good. So I went straight home and had wine. Calm myself down.
The energy and the depressant. This is perfect. Have a Jaeger bomb next time.
Yeah.
So if you've just joined us, we have a confession. It's another caffeinated one. Someone has swapped the caffeinated teas and coffees for decaffeinated cold turkey, it sounds like, and then gaslighted him into believing that he had the flu when actually he was having withdrawals. But now this person that's off the caffeinated is going out for meetings and having caffeinated coffee. However, there were health benefits. There was better sleep and there was less stress, being less wired. The question to the council here this morning is that I'm worried he might figure it out. You lied to me. And should I confess or carry on in the hope that he won't notice? Gina, you started us off by saying, no, I'm ringing around all the coffee houses and getting everyone on board. After a couple of moments deliberation, as our caffeinated friend here this morning, what are your continued views?
I'd come clean. I'd just say, do you know, have you noticed over this past while when you've been working at home that you've been getting better sleep and giving all the benefits and then saying, do you know why that is? And they won't have a clue, and then saying, well, actually, I've swapped you to decaffeinated. You haven't noticed. You've enjoyed all your cups. So just a little tip, when you go out and about, order decaffeinated. Job done.
So that's what she should do. Do you forgive the original action?
Yes.
So, okay, forgiven and come clean. Reverend Sophie?
Putting the health benefits aside, because there are health benefits to lots of medications, but that doesn't mean that the doctor doesn't tell you that he's going to give you those medications. It's like, oh, you just go take this. It'll be fine. No, I'm not going to tell you what it is, but just go. No. No, not forgiven in any way, shape, or form. No,
Oh!
terrible behaviour.
And next action.
I think this person needs to come clean, apologise, and then come back to us, and we'll forgive.
And then we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's not forgiven, and you need to forgive. You just mentioned there about doctors. The scientist in me loves a control group
Oh, okay.
and loves a placebo.
Uh-oh.
So I think, in the interest of science, I think this person's done a great thing. What's the point in going through all the stress and the hassle of I'm swapping out your decaf and then maybe having this slight argument now and then? It's like, no, I need my coffee. When actually, as a science experiment, it's worked quite well. It's had health benefits on there.
But people are not science experiments, Tom.
This person is.
Tom would have us all running around in a little maze after a piece of cheese before you know it.
Cheese. So I'm actually with Gina on this one. I do forgive the original action because I think that the intention was a good one and it actually did pay dividends. It's just frustrating that the boss wants to see him. God, bosses. But I would now come clean, having had a successful trial period. So I actually do forgive because that's what your families are for. A little bit of test and experimentation. See what happens. We're like, nah, I told you so. Or, didn't you sleep really well last night? Win. So
my eldest daughter wouldn't eat vegetables for a long, long time. The only thing she would eat was pink mash. Pink mash, yeah, which was just a few potatoes. And then all the other vegetables blitzed together with loads of tomato ketchup to turn it pink.
I love that.
And for about a year and a half, we used to feed her pink mash. Otherwise, she'd only eat potatoes. That would be it.
Yeah.
So
see, experimentation.
So I'm with you and with Gina. I forgive the original action because it came not out of a place of malevolence, it came out of a place of caring. And sometimes you have to help people to help themselves. Nonetheless, I think it is time to fess up because not because you're going to be found out, but because it could be having a deleterious effect on on your husband.
The circumstances have changed again, and we need to adapt.
Yes.
Yeah.
Variables.
Variables. So our hypothesis, or their hypothesis.
So we've turned it from a moral group of people on first thing on a Thursday morning to a science experiment.
Tell you what are your views? Let us know. You can call or WhatsApp on 01437 764455. Drop us a message on the video. We're live on Facebook. We've got a WhatsApp in. Is it relevant? Not yet. So they may have missed it. They're going to come back though and comment on the video. If it means turning morality into a science experiment to get one of these, because by my counting, it's 1, 2, 3 to 1.
Yeah, the science.
You are all going to hell.
I love that.
She doesn't have that power, folks. Sorry.
No, she doesn't have that power.
For the lot of you.
So, well, in order to make that play out again, though, we need to make. She needs to come clean now, though. So, yes, we do confess that we do forgive the act, the majority.
Yeah, but let them know.
But what we need now is to know that actually, babes, I've done something, babes. Yeah.
Are you hinting at who this person is?
No, I have no idea who it is.
No.
We'll keep it that way. But yes, we'd like a follow-up. So, but please let us know how you get on. And if you want to have your case heard by the Breakfast Show and Alive and Kicking here on a Thursday morning, you can submit your confession or find Father Neil. It's studio@purewestradio.com, where we will have one next week. And, well, interestingly, there's a member of the team here that might have one in their back pocket.
Oh.
Maybe.
I've got a question, Soph.
Go on then.
Making it personal to you.
No. Heck. Go on then.
I found out recently that you can buy top-up juice and cartridges and stuff for vapes.
Yeah.
Right? That hasn't got nicotine in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can also buy it with sort of like decreasing amounts of nicotine.
Yeah, that's the
in
whole
it.
point of the vapes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you ever surreptitiously do that to any member of your family that vapes?
No.
You wouldn't?
No.
You stick to your guns.
Yeah.
Stick to your morality.
Yeah.
Well, good for you. I've got a tremendous amount of respect for you. I do that in a heartbeat.
Just swap it
Yeah.
out.
I mean, there are other things I would do. I mean,
Oh,
I'm
well-
not that moral.
Oh, right,
you know,
okay.
but not that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Love
Would you be
that.
changing your wine for water?
Oh gosh, no, because Jesus.
No,
was
not for
changing
you.
water.
Yeah, the miracle is the other way around. Let's not forget that. And the miracle of Live and Kicking on Sunday morning is back upon us with both of you this Sunday.
Yes,
what have you got in store?
I don't think we've quite worked it out yet, what we've got in store.
Sorry, we're only going to go and record in a minute. It's
Yeah,
fine.
so
Turn the microphones on. Off we go.
Off we go.
that's
Yeah.
right. Little bit of spontaneity, that's what you need.
You do need that. Thank you so much, as ever, for joining us with Gratitude Day, talking about being grateful for our beaches and the summer that we've just had. Lovely confessions here. Another one that's caffeinated. Your story could be about anything. Let us know, and you can watch this back and give us your thoughts. And yeah, Live and Kicking on Sunday morning.
And I'll be with you for Gratitude Tuesday next Tuesday.
Lovely. Thank you so much. We're gonna have some tunes now. What are we gonna go for? Do we want let's go for React, because that's what happens when you have caffeine after not having it for so many days.
Bouncing off the walls.
Bouncing off the walls. It's coming up to 8:30. We've got letters for you on Scramble on the way, Jean.
Yes, we have, and it's causing a little bit of an issue over on our Facebook page.
You'll have to stay tuned. Make sure you're on the right track. It's your June Top Breakfast Show with Folly Farm. Cheers, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Wake up with G